Have you ever noticed a special type of person in daily life? On the surface, they are gentle, polite, and extremely considerate to everyone around them. They possess an innate, strong empathy that most ordinary people do not have. They always stand in others' shoes and take the initiative to care for other people's emotions unconditionally. They rarely lose their temper, rarely argue, and never take the initiative to create conflicts. But after a long period of continuous social interaction and communication, their mental state and behavior will change drastically without any warning. They suddenly become extremely quiet, distant, and cold. They take the initiative to distance themselves from friends, partners, and family. They reply to messages slowly or even delay replies on purpose. They refuse almost all social gatherings and casual chats, shutting themselves off from the outside world to stay alone for a long time. Most people cannot understand this behavioral pattern at all. We casually label these sensitive people as cold, arrogant, weird, and unsociable. Countless relationships, friendships, and family bonds break down because of this huge misunderstanding. Lovers think their sensitive partners have fallen out of love. Friends think they are being deliberately ignored and alienated. But today, I will reveal a little-known and profound truth. When highly sensitive people choose to shut down and withdraw from social interaction, it is never indifference, nor do they dislike or hate you. Their estrangement and isolation are never targeted at any individual. The core reason is simple and heartbreaking. Their brains physically cannot endure the daily social intensity that ordinary people take for granted. Most people misunderstand highly sensitive people their whole lives. They mistake their instinctive brain self-protection for a personality flaw and dismiss their emotional overload and mental exhaustion as deliberate melodrama. In this professional psychological analysis, we will fully dissect the truth behind HSPs' shutdown and withdrawal behavior, from innate brain mechanisms, subconscious logic, and relationship interaction patterns, to public cognitive misunderstandings, self-healing methods, and interpersonal coping strategies. You will finally understand. It is not that sensitive people are too fragile, but that ordinary people live too coarsely in emotional perception and interaction. First, we must correct the biggest and most harmful public misunderstanding. Most people constantly confuse three completely different psychological traits: high sensitivity, introversion, and social anxiety disorder. They look similar in behavior, but their inner essence and operating logic are totally different. Countless sensitive people fall into long-term self-denial because of this wrong cognition. Let's start with introversion. Genuine introverts simply prefer quiet solitude over noisy crowds. They do not fear social interaction, nor do they feel exhausted after communication. They just feel more relaxed and energized when staying alone. Introversion is just a normal personality preference with no mental consumption or pain. Next is social anxiety disorder. Its core is persistent fear and nervousness in interpersonal scenarios. Socially anxious people fear negative judgment and embarrassment in public. They avoid high-pressure social scenarios and feel uncomfortable being scrutinized. It is excessive anxiety triggered by external evaluation and public attention. However, high sensitivity has no overlap with these two traits. Here is the core key point you must remember. High sensitivity is not shyness, cowardice, or overthinking. It is a congenital physiological feature determined by unique brain nerve structure. In professional psychology, these people are defined as HSP, highly sensitive person. Brain MRI experiments fully prove this scientific conclusion. The brain regions of HSP, responsible for emotion and sensory processing, are far more active and delicate than those of ordinary people. Ordinary people's brains have a powerful automatic sensory filtering function. They automatically block trivial environmental stimuli. Subtle facial expressions, slight tone changes, faint whispers, atmospheric shifts, and tiny emotional fluctuations of surrounding people. These trivial signals leave no burden on ordinary people's mental state, but HSPs' brains completely lack this filtering mechanism. Every subtle external stimulus penetrates their brains without obstruction, and these faint signals will be exponentially amplified and deeply analyzed. This special brain mode leads to a cruel daily result: casual dinners, friendly chats, and routine social interactions that relax and energize ordinary people become high-intensity mental burdens and overdraft for highly sensitive people. What you call simple leisure is continuous high-load operation for their delicate nerves. This explains all their confusing behaviors. Why do they turn silent in lively gatherings? Why do they lose the desire to communicate midway through conversations? Why do they need long quiet time to recover after short social occasions? The root cause is sensory overload and severe emotional overconsumption. The social intensity ordinary people easily tolerate is exactly the overload limit of HSP's fragile nervous system. When noise, emotional fluctuations, and social pressure accumulate to the threshold, their brains will automatically trigger emergency self-protection. The external performance is emotional shutdown and social withdrawal. Their silence, estrangement, and solitude are not tantrums or snubs. They are instinctive physiological and psychological self-rescue responses. Beneath their cold exterior, they have long been mentally overdrawn and exhausted. Next, I will analyze the two core shutdown modes of highly sensitive people. They look identical on the surface, but their inner logic is completely different. Most people cannot distinguish them, which leads to endless misunderstandings. The first mode is passive isolation shutdown, caused by long-term emotional accumulation. This is the most common state for most highly sensitive people. They are born with obvious people-pleasing tendencies and unconditional tolerance. In all relationships, they take the initiative to empathize, compromise, and cater to others. In new relationships, they try their best to cooperate with others' rhythms and needs. They comfort others when they are frustrated, break the ice for awkward atmospheres, and habitually reflect on themselves when others show negative attitudes. Even when they feel wronged, tired, and depressed inside, they still endure silently without showing any negative emotion. They hold a naive belief: if they are gentle, tolerant, and sensible enough, all relationships will be harmonious. But no one notices their hidden consumption behind the gentle surface. Every compromise and accommodation accumulates invisible mental exhaustion. Every self-suppression fills their inner world with pent-up grievance. Ordinary people have a huge emotional tolerance space that is hard to deplete, but HSP's emotional reservoir is extremely limited and fills up rapidly. A day of socializing is relaxing for ordinary people, but it is a severe mental overdraft for sensitive individuals. Eventually, their long-accumulated emotions completely collapse. The once gentle and considerate person suddenly stops active communication, refuses to compromise for others, and falls into long-term silence and avoidance. People think they become cold and selfish, but they have already endured to their physical and mental limit. This passive shutdown is not a personality deterioration. It is forced self-redemption after long-term self-sacrifice and suppression. It is not that they no longer care about others, but that they have no extra emotional energy left to please anyone. The second mode is predictive withdrawal shutdown based on past trauma. This type of HSP is more pitiful and easier to be misunderstood. After repeated emotional injuries and sincere betrayal in relationships, their delicate brains form a sharp emotional risk early warning mechanism. Once they sense subtle signs of consumption, conflict, or potential harm, they will take the initiative to withdraw and shut down emotions in advance. They never wait until they are truly hurt to choose to leave. Ordinary people cannot perceive these hidden risks and subtle changes, so they feel confused about their sudden alienation with no quarrel or conflict. The truth is simple. Your rough senses cannot detect hidden interpersonal oppression and insincerity. But their delicate perception can capture all of it accurately. Their advanced withdrawal is not paranoia or overthinking. It is ultimate psychological self-protection after countless hidden pains. Ordinary people escape only after being hurt. Highly sensitive people stop losses in advance to avoid repeated trauma. Now I will reveal why gentle HSP always live the most tiring lives. They have two contradictory subconscious traits that cause endless inner friction. First, extreme and precise empathy for others. They instantly capture others' subtle mood swings and attitude changes and involuntarily immerse themselves in others' emotional states, feeling sad, anxious, and guilty for others without deliberate intention. Second, extreme internal attribution and self-blame psychology. Once the interpersonal atmosphere turns awkward or conflicts appear, their first reaction is self-doubt and self-denial. They repeatedly question themselves. Did I do something wrong? Am I not good enough to make others comfortable? They take full responsibility for all relationship problems alone, bearing all invisible psychological pressure by themselves. The superposition of these two traits creates irreversible inner consumption. Others' ordinary negative emotions become their heavy mental pressure. Others' temporary unhappiness becomes their long-term self-guilt. No one can sustain such high-frequency mental consumption without exhaustion. This is the fundamental reason for their repeated shutdown and withdrawal. They do not want to alienate others, but they dare not overdraw their energy anymore. People casually call them glass-hearted and overly sensitive, but their exhaustion comes from being too kind, delicate, and considerate. High sensitivity is never a flaw, but a necessary side effect of ultra-high empathy and perception. There is a fatal cognitive mistake. They believe HSP must force themselves to socialize more to become outgoing and abandon their quiet solitude to fit into the crowd. This is completely wrong and counterproductive. For sensitive people, forced socializing equals forced mental overdraft. Ordinary people gain energy from communication. Only quiet solitude can restore HSP's exhausted mental energy. Their energy operation system is completely opposite to ordinary people. The more they force themselves to cater to the crowd, the more exhausted they become. The more they pretend to be lively, the stronger their self-isolation will be. Many HSP live in long-term self-attack, blaming themselves for not being sunny, outgoing, and sociable enough. But today I want to tell you firmly, you never need to force yourself to change or cater to ordinary standards. Your shutdown and withdrawal are not flaws, but your exclusive and necessary mental repair mechanism. Ordinary people recover fatigue through sleep, while you recover through quiet solitude and temporary disconnection from the world. This is determined by your unique innate brain structure, not pretentiousness. Next, I will share a scientific self-healing system exclusively for HSP. It fits your brain mechanism with no forced cheerfulness or personality transformation. First, completely abandon all self-negation and self-doubt. Stop labeling yourself weird, cold, defective, or unsociable. You just have sharper perception and bear heavier emotional pressure than others. Your withdrawal is effective self-rescue, not escapism or cowardice. Your love for solitude is energy repair, not indifference. Allow yourself to be tired, quiet, and temporarily away from complicated interpersonal relationships. Never restrain yourself with ordinary people's social values. Second, build stable and exclusive psychological boundaries. Most of HSP's pain comes from bottomless tolerance and blind accommodation. They wrong themselves to please others and fear all conflicts. Remember this crucial truth. Your kindness and gentleness must be accompanied by sharp boundaries. You have every right to refuse unwanted messages and social gatherings. You have every right to distance yourself from energy-consuming relationships. People who truly cherish you will accept your quietness and need for solitude. Those who force you to change never deserve your sincerity and tenderness. Third, distinguish healthy solitude repair from negative escapist seclusion. Many HSP fear their quiet state, worrying about becoming closed off. But healthy solitude is pure emotional adjustment and energy recovery. After settling messy emotions alone, you will become more peaceful and rational. The real consumption comes from inner contradiction. Resting externally while blaming yourself for unsociable internally, once you accept your own life rhythm, all inner friction will disappear. Finally, I have sincere advice for people who have HSP around you. First, never force sensitive people to participate in noisy social activities. Stop saying harmful words like "be more outgoing" or "stop staying alone." Your well-intentioned persuasion is huge invisible pressure for them. Second, do not misinterpret their silence as anger or coldness. Their quietness only means they are tired and trying to recover energy. Third, the best company for HSP is not constant chatting and liveliness, but a relaxed, pressure-free atmosphere with no forced communication. The more tolerant you are, the more willing they are to open up to you. Countless people lose their sensitive lovers and friends not because of fading affection, but because of endless emotional overdraft. To all highly sensitive people watching this video, never deny or abandon your innate sensitivity. Your delicacy, empathy, and kindness let you perceive more warmth and beauty, cherish relationships more deeply, and understand human hearts better. Your sensitivity is not a weakness, but your rarest innate talent. You do not have to cater to the noisy world and ordinary standards. You can be quiet, calm, and appropriately closed off. Just learn to protect your delicate inner world. Stop blind over empathy and meaningless self-consumption. Stabilize your boundaries and calm your fluctuating emotions. You can also live relaxed, stable, and happy lives. Sensitive people do not need to force themselves to fit into a loud, careless world. Your sensitivity is not a barrier to life, but a gateway to deeper and more authentic experiences. While ordinary people skim through life superficially, you can capture subtle warmth, hidden sincerity, and tiny, beautiful moments. You are better at retaining kindness and sincerity in a fast-paced, utilitarian world. When you stop fighting your innate nature and accept your need for rest, you will walk out of long-term self-denial and inner friction. You will no longer feel inferior for being quiet or guilty for refusing tiring socializing. You will learn to arrange your life rhythm and guard your pure inner world. Countless excellent creators, counselors, and warm partners are all highly sensitive people. Their delicate perception lets them heal others and maintain sincere relationships. Sensitivity does not make you weak. It makes you sincere, humane, unique, and warm. Do not rush to change yourself or cater to the public's definition of excellence. Protect your sensitivity, learn to rest actively, and treat yourself gently. Your shutdown is self-protection, not alienation. Your quietness is inner peace, not inferiority. Your sensitivity is your most precious, unique gift.